Hello everybody, I'm Jess here and welcome back to Shangri-La Frontier. I'm again still not fully healthy yet, but yeah, it's getting better, and it's gonna get even better with today's episode because I love Shangri-La Frontier. Honestly, it's this season so far, it's probably one of my favorite shows. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, granted, I haven't seen all of them. I still haven't seen Ragnar Crimson. I still haven't seen Undead Unluck. The Apothecary Diaries came out only today, I think, and I still can't find the episodes anywhere on the internet, except, the official sites. But fuck paying for that. So, yeah, I haven't seen everything, but from what I've seen, out of all the series I've seen so far, Shangri-La is honestly up there. Shield Hero is kinda close. I think they would be tied so far. Except Shield Hero has some adaptation woes, but whatever, doesn't matter. We're not here to talk about the Shield Hero, we're here to talk about Shangri-La Frontier. So let's. In the previous episode, in episode 3, what happened? Well, Rakuro was defeated by the Lycagon, the world boss, whose defeat should at least progress the story of the world. And he, at the same time, was recognized by that Lycagon as an enemy, as an opponent. So he was marked with a curse. A curse that prevents him from wearing any sort of armor everywhere besides his head slot and I think his belt slot. But it grants him some magical resistance in exchange for that. So, sure, tit for tat, I guess. So now he is forced even more into the glass cannon build. He just cannot wear any armor, so he needs to make up for it by dodging and with lack stat, etc, etc, etc. Thanks to that, he was also recognized by the Vorpal bunnies, who apparently have their own entire society somewhere in a parallel world, so he essentially triggered the unique scenario, the unique quest line of Vorpal bunnies. He's way underleveled for it, but I don't think that's gonna be much of an issue. I mean, we are talking about Rakuro here, so I really don't think it's gonna be that much of an issue. He was recognized by them because of his Vorpal playstyle, which is glass cannon, run in fast, deal some crit damage with Vorpal daggers, run away. So, yeah, it seems like now he will be even more, corridored? No. Blindsided? No. Streamlined? No. I forgot the correct expression for it. He's going to be pushed even more in the direction of being a glass cannon, being a Vorpal fighter, if you can call it that, and you probably can. And yeah, at the end he met Visage, who is the chief chieftain of the Vorpal bunnies of the Rabituza, which is Yakuza but rabbits. Vorpal bunnies, rather. I guess they're kind of the same. They aren't, but no, they are. Hares are different, but rabbits and bunnies are same thing? I don't know. I'm not sure, honestly, but apparently they are, because Rabituza and has bunnies, so sure, whatever, doesn't matter. It's just semantics, it's just naming. And yeah, he's gonna start the quest, whatever it might be. At the same time, Rei Saiga, the heavy armored knight is still looking for him. So perhaps we're gonna have some parallel storylines. She looking for Rakuro being in the Bunny Land, then exiting the Bunny Land, and maybe they will meet. Hopefully they will meet eventually. I don't know, we'll see. I just noticed that this series is 25 episodes, so 2 cours, which is great, amazing. I love it. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of time. We're gonna have a lot of time with it. I was afraid that perhaps the entire show is just going to be spent inside of the Bunny Land, but with 25 episodes, unlikely. Even if we spend 10 episodes in Bunny Land, that's still gonna give us plenty of time in the main overworld, which is gonna be great. I think that's it. I think that's it for the intro. What do I expect from today's episode? I don't know, start of the quest, whatever it might be. We don't really have much of an, we do have an overarching plot of defeating the special beasts, the world bosses. Now Rakuro's goal is to defeat the Lycagon, maybe not now, maybe not soon, but eventually, etc, etc. But we don't really have anything that would drive us episode to episode to episode. So it's kind of hard to predict what's going to happen, but today's episode will probably be the beginning of that storyline that will give us the episode to episode progression. And I think my camera is a little bit too dark. I think that's better. Maybe a little bit warmer? Yeah, sure. I am still to replace my ring light. So I have to fiddle with those settings. But now, with all of that being said, I think we can just start watching this episode. How about that? To do that, you will of course need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm also gonna have to ask you guys for your support monetary on Patreon or YouTube, linked down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with all of that out of the way, we can start watching episode 4 of Shangri-La Frontier in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, timer works. Why are we getting a recap? Or a summary, or what do we want to call it? Please don't tell me it's a recap episode. There's no way it's a recap episode just after 3 episodes. There's no way in hell. Hopefully not. Whatever, the opening is still a banger. Worst case scenario, we're just gonna watch the opening and it's gonna be a very short video. Honestly, opening of the season, to me, it really, really, really reminds me of the music I was listening to in the early 2000s. Especially this. It's such a burst of nostalgia. The music, the MMOs. It's great. Okay, some real world events. Yeah, fair to assume. Yeah. Do you not have like a, I don't know, friend system where you can send a friend invite to a player named Sanaraku? Yeah. Okay, what's that game playing on the screen? Is that Halo? I think it might have been Halo. Sister? Or, I mean, it's anime, so it might as well just be his mother or a grandmother. Not this one. Okay, so it's already up on the wiki. Recommended level. Hmm. I mean, not yet, at least. Maybe that's gonna be the quest you're gonna get from Visage. Visage, not Visage. Yeah, so it seems like this scenario got triggered by something else, not by defeating a monster with Vorpal, but rather by even attacking a world boss with Vorpal techniques. Yeah, you're probably gonna get some unique abilities, maybe a weapons, maybe probably not an armor set, but Aniki. No, boss. Boss, not Aniki. Or does he actually like being called Aniki? Because it makes him seem younger or something. Yeah, of course he likes it. Vash. Well, that's gonna be easier to pronounce. I mean, it's a game anyway. You just go back to the save location. Right. Gotta be prepared. Oh, okay. A necklace. But it multiplies something by 3.2. I didn't read what was it. I mean, at least now you know that you can also equip something in your necklace slot. Okay, so it increases his stats. Be the first one to write about it. Appointment? With Vash? Or in real life? Bop. Okay. So it's not just going to be Shangri-La that we're gonna play through. Of course. Amazing music in this show. Some really good music. Of course. Glitch moves. Okay. Okay, so he's also glitching. Okay. I actually love it. I actually love the idea of a game where you're the stronger, the more glitches you actually figure out. Okay, so it's any percent. Okay. Okay. Great. Yeah. Seems like a perfect challenge. and got my ass handed to me. Yeah, a challenge. That's why he's playing all those Ksoge after all, also for the challenge. Okay, so do we get ourselves a party member? Okay, we are assembling the party with another banger track. The only anime whose soundtrack I actually listened to on like regular basis, well, not regular, but outside of the game itself, outside of the anime itself, was Kill la Kill. This is probably gonna be the second one. Okay, so he's not trapped in the Rabituza. Yeah, I was actually kind of afraid that we're just gonna be stuck in the Rabituza for like 10 episodes or so, but no. He can still get out. Okay, so he wants to go somewhere that's gonna be less populated. Whole ass. That's a great expression. As opposite to half-assing something, you whole ass it. He's just happy to be included. Oh, party? I honestly thought Emily is gonna be more like a pet or a companion, but sure, a party member. Sorcerer. She, okay. Seems like a fair assumption. Oh, right. An NPC assigned to you by the game to help you just fight to make up for your deficiencies that you get because of the mark. Now you notice it. Oh, of course. Of course. Of course, okay. The jig's gonna be up soon enough. Aren't you a Vorpal bunny? Yeah. The Thirdia. Or was this Thirdia? Or Third Borough, or whatever that city was called. Is that lower level? It is. I mean... Also, humans are endurance hunters. So you don't need to outrun it, you just need to chase it long enough. Okay, inertia gives you a attack bonus. Okay. Kinda like drop attack in Souls-likes. I mean, fair. Yeah. And now you have a guarantee that those monsters won't fight back. Okay. Third Rema. Truly Souls-like experience. You gotta have a toxic swamp. Appropriate name. Yep. It's gonna resurface soon. Yep, that's why it was invisible, because it was underground. And Mad gives you a speed debuff. So that's gonna be problematic. Yeah. So can't run, can't jump either. Exactly. Sanoraku is so based on speed and dodging and whatnot and being stuck in the swamp. Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. So much good music in just this single episode. Opening, ending, those 2 or 3 tracks in the episode itself. Sorry for not saying much, but I've just been enjoying it, you know? I've just been enjoying it. And the mini. Huh? Okay. Okay. Oh, just a dream. Okay. For a moment, I thought that it's actually the case that maybe all of the NPCs, that this purple cloud is maybe, I know, the representation of the AI that drives the NPC or what have you. Okay, how about we watch it again? Shall we? Yes, we shall. Of course, we shall. I perhaps haven't spoken much during the course of the show, but I'm gonna make up for it. Yeah, those are all of the covers that we've seen so far. I really was afraid that we're looking at some sort of a recap episode. I really was afraid. I mean, with a beginning like that, you kind of come to expect that what follows is a clip show or a recap. But no, thankfully not the case. So we have seen her, and this, I assume, is the noodle arm fighter that that Rakuro fought in the fighting game, whatever it was called. Let's see. Blonde. Twin Tails is the noodle arm player from, and I'm gonna take a look at what the name of that game is when we get to that point. But I have a feeling this is this character. Alternatively, that might be him. I know the avatar was male, the voice was vaguely female, so kind of hard to tell. And yeah, that is Sanaraku and two of his party members. And with this, a trash game realignment of Elevated Tastes, the title, starting at the shop, I really was afraid that we're gonna start with Sanaraku coming in and talking about the Fairy Chronicles and trying to, you know, find something else and being recommended Shangri-La, and we are going for a recap. But no, thankfully not. Any other recognizable covers? Plenty. I've seen a post on Reddit, I think with episode 1, that went through all of those covers and what they actually are. Yeah, is there no, like, friend system where you can just type in Sanaraku, invite to friends, and it sends him an invite? Or do you need to be, like, face to face to invite other people? I don't know. And what is on the screen? I think this is Halo. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course. But no, the bit of the UI on the left, I don't think that's Halo. Or maybe? I haven't played the newest Halo, so I'm not sure. Actually, I'm gonna real quick look up Halo Infinite, right? That's the newest one. What's the UI look like? Of course, all of the screenshots don't have... No, it's not Halo Infinite. Something else. It's not Destiny, for sure. Maybe it's just a... Maybe it's an earlier version of Halo. Because the colors and the general look of the UI is very Halo-ish. That, you know, blue, solid color, translucent UI. Probably not Halo Infinite, but maybe some earlier part. Or maybe a completely different game. I don't know. You guys tell me, maybe you recognize it. Keep going, Rei-chan. Ganbatte. Tell him how you feel. Oh, it's gonna take a while until she's able to do that. Rumi, I don't know, maybe sister, maybe mother, who's to say? It's anime after all. I have a feeling she also plays the game. As who? I don't know, maybe we'll meet her, maybe we won't. We'll see. Energy Kaiser. Tour of Rabbi Tuza seems to be a completely different scenario. You kill a monster with Vorpal weapons, and then you get to defeat the Lagonian Python, and you get Enchant Vorpal spell. That also seems like it would be useful. But no, it's a completely different scenario. I like this bit with him just checking out the wiki. I really like it. Very often. Actually, pretty much always. Maybe. I haven't seen any of SAO besides season 1. Maybe it's something that happens in SAO. I'm not sure. But as far as anime that take place in a game go, I've never actually seen anybody look for any informations about the game. Either they already mastered the game with some beta tests and whatnot, like Kirito, so they don't need that information, or they just go completely blind and the world acts as if the internet was not a thing, and wikis and forums and Reddit and Discord and places like that were just not a thing. You very rarely, if ever, see people actually get out of the game and take a look through the forums to look for guides and whatnot, right? But it's cool, it's realistic. In general, I really like how much of a realistic approach this show takes to gaming. Notice that Rakuro is not just stuck in Shangri-La. Not even literally stuck, but not even like figuratively stuck, where Shangri-La is the one and only game he plays throughout the series. He also plays some other games every now and then. It's very realistic to do that. Cool. Really, thumbs up. Thumbs up for the portrayal of gaming. Vorpal Soul. And yeah, no reason to refuse. Worst case scenario, I don't know what would the worst case scenario be. You don't get anything out of it. Best case scenario, you get some unique abilities. Maybe you get some skill points for free. Maybe you get a set of gear. Maybe you get enchanted Vorpal blade. Right? Nothing to lose here. And Aniki seems to have been the correct choice. Aniki Bash. Respawn point. Yeah, I know what a respawn point is. Believe me. Vorpal Soul Color acquired. Okay, what are the effects? Well, equipped user receives half XP but gains 2 points. Okay, so less HP but more stat points. Less XP but more stat points. So you end up at a lower total level, but your stats become higher for the level compared to people who don't have it. Right? Something thereabouts? Where normally a person at level 20 has 50 skill points, 50 stat points distributed among all the stats. With this color on, at level 20, you're gonna have 62-ish. No, wait. 60, 65? 65-ish, 66-ish stat points distributed. Okay, that's fair, honestly. XP and level doesn't really matter all that much. What matters in leveling is that every level gives you stat points. And now you get more stat points, the level is like kind of whatever. Unless there are some weapons, some gear, some quests, etc., limited by your actual level, then sure, that might be a problem. But then you will simply be overstated, over-leveled, kinda, for that particular quest or weapon or what have you. So it's not bad either. It's just gonna take you more time to get to that point. Extraordinary hardship is necessary for the weak to grow stronger. Sure. 2.5 times stat points. Yeah, that is a big upside. That is kind of broken. None of that is on the forums. None of that is on the wiki. So, of course, he is the person, only one to know about it so far. See, this is exactly what I was talking about in the previous episode. I miss the days where games actually had some wonder to them, where you would actually encounter something and just not know what it is, not know where to go. Nowadays, you are faced with some choice in a game, you just Google that and you already know which choice has which consequences, you know how to beat which boss, etc. Now, of course, you don't need to look at it, you don't need to look at those wikis and forums and whatnot, but the fact that they exist kind of in itself kind of detracts a little bit from the experience, if you ask me. An appointment. Berb. Or Bob. Bob Berb. Sure. I don't know how that works. Probably makes more sense in Japanese. Fighting game. That is heavily bugged and heavily glitched. And only 100 players or so. Oh, right, the name of the game. I'm just gonna say Bob. Blonde Twintails is the noodle-armed player from Bob. And his name is... we have seen his name. Sanaraku. And... Modor Katsu. A noodle-armed player is Modor Katsu. Vale tudo. Why Portuguese? Why Portuguese? Latin, French, okay, there are some loan terms and loan words from those languages, but Portuguese? Is it actually something that's like in use in English or Japanese? Vale tudo? Is that an actual like loan term? I don't know. It's a new move I worked out while you were focusing on failure. And of course it's called NSFW Tentacle Attack. I love the concept of a fighting game that's so glitched that people can just develop their own fighting techniques if they figure out the glitches. As long as you've got 12 frames, you can even kill a boss in a single burst, and especially the bit with after images actually having hitboxes and dealing damage. Amazing. I love the concept of it. I love it. Yeah, the after image fist textures were part of the hitbox, apparently. 7 Colossi, and of course challenge is why Sanaraku is playing it. And thus Modor Katso is also gonna join the team. You know who? This who? Maybe the sister. Maybe the sister, actually. Purple-haired spear user is Sanraku's sister. She went to work and then maybe stopped by some, I don't know, gaming cafe, internet cafe, and plays from there. I don't know. But she had purple hair. This character has purple hair. That's enough for me. From Modor Katsu, I hear Sanraku bought SLF. He's pretty into it too. Watch out for signs of hell freezing over. TBF, I've been curious about it too. If he's playing it, might be worth trying. Shangri-La Frontier network panel. That's a very interesting UI for an in-game messaging system. And this was apparently a PvP match. Interesting, so she's a PvP player. Okay. Second ale back alley. This is cool. This is cool that he actually gets to interact with the outside world of Shangri-La. I really was afraid that he's gonna be stuck in the Rabituza. This is something I'm in general not a huge fan of, where we have the main world and the main story, etc., etc., and then the character is ripped out of there and placed in a different environment for however many episodes, right? Because I got into the main world, I got into that world building, I got into that storyline. Please don't rip the main character out of it to have me follow his adventures on, I don't know, somewhere else. So I was afraid it's going to be the case. I said as much at the beginning of this episode of this video that I really hope that I was really happy that it's 25 episodes, because even if we spend 10 episodes or so in the Rabituza, it will still give us time to spend in the main world, overworld of Shangri-La Frontier, but it doesn't seem to be an issue at all. Because sure, he has the quest in Rabituza, but he can also engage with the rest of the world, which is cool. I'd really like to go to Third Drama before the crowd start pouring in. Yeah, summer break, brand new players go to Firstia. From Firstia, soon enough they will arrive at Secondia, and Sanaraku doesn't like crowds. And of course, yeah, fighting over monsters and mining spots, that's also a factor. It was an issue in a good chunk of MMOs that I've played, where there would be like 15 players gathered around a single plant, spamming interact button, so that when the plant grows, they are the first ones to actually get it because it was needed for some quest, or even worse, 20 of it were needed for some quest. So yeah, he's thinking well to get somewhere less populated. If I'm gonna haul ass, that's a great expression. I'm gonna start using it from now on. Party. That's a nice compensation system for all of the downsides from the color, all of the downsides from the mark from the curse. In exchange for all those downsides, you get a companion to help you at least a little bit. That's cool. No cash on hand, no skill points remaining, level 56. Mostly got better stats than you, sure, but she's level 56 and you're level, what, 12? Something like that, I think. And of course, people want a pet Vorpal bunny. Why wouldn't they? And of course, he wants that to be a secret. He wants to complete it first, then write a post on the forum about it. Because maybe, just maybe, the amount of the amount of students Vash can take is limited. Maybe there's only one special weapon that can be acquired, and whoever acquires it first gets it. You don't know that. So if you can do it alone, you should do it alone. And then write about your experiences, and whatever other people do, they do. And of course, a screenshot, that's gonna go viral. Monsters of lower level than the afflicted character will flee. See, initially I thought it's gonna be a downside, because he's not gonna be able to farm low level enemies for XP, for materials and whatnot, but it seems it's not an issue because he has high speed, so even if the enemies run away from him, he can chase after them and just easily defeat them because they're not gonna fight back. They're gonna be focused on running away. That's smart. Attack bonus from inertia, that's a cool mechanic. That's a really cool mechanic. You pretty much never actually see it. I don't think you actually do see it. Like bonus damage from inertia. Except, you know, Dark Souls jumping from above, that deals usually more damage. Not just Dark Souls, but Souls-likes in general. But a running attack to deal more damage? You don't really see that. At least I can't recall any game that would have it. It's a law of physics you take for granted in the real world, but very few games actually try to replicate it. Yep. Ignore the scrubs, go for the boss, of course. Unfortunately, the boss is in the marshes, so the worst possible scenario for a player who relies on speed this much to be forced in a state where he just cannot make use of his speed. I wonder how's he gonna go about it. Is it gonna be a case of party members ex machina arriving and helping him? Is it gonna be a case of him finding some unique solution to the problem? Maybe jumping up on... No, he can't jump while he's in the mud. So he can't jump up top onto those cliffs. Huh. Well, that's a tough cookie, isn't it? That's gonna be a tough one to figure out. He doesn't really have magic, so it's not like he can freeze the surface of the water. Maybe Emul can. Emul is a sorceress after all. Maybe Emul could freeze the layer of mud and then he can freely walk over it. I think I might be onto something. Worst matchup possible, indeed. I thought this is going to go either of two ways. Either it turns out that all the NPCs are actually possessed by whatchamacallit? Fuck. I'm blanking on the word. The creator of Call of Cthulhu. Yan. Suffix. Yan creatures. That's how I'm gonna say it. And it's a representation of this like intangible AI system that controls them or whatever. Or I thought that this purple cloud is just gonna turn into a girl eventually. Sure, it's scary purple cloud, but then it suddenly takes shape of a girl, and it's a girl leaning over him, because of course animalistic pets in anime very often just turn into girls, usually while you're sleeping, and then you wake up with a naked cat lolly in your bed. That's probably the most common trope. But no, nothing like that. When players are locked out, their avatars disappear. Simple explanation, simple mechanic. Okay. So, Shangri-La Frontier, as always, I enjoyed it thoroughly. What else can I say? This, and rather, the other show this season that I find myself enjoying thoroughly is Shield Hero. But Shield Hero has its moments when I enjoy it thoroughly. I enjoyed pretty much the entirety of the second episode. I mostly enjoyed the third episode, but I had some criticism to it. Shangri-La Frontier, meanwhile, is a show that I fully enjoy thoroughly. I enjoy every single moment. I don't really have any criticism for it. It does the whole theme of playing games. It does it extremely well. It has really good animation. It has really good art style. It has really good characters. You know that whoever created the story actually fucking plays some games. It has amazing music. It has a lot to like write about and theorize about. It's just all around an amazing show. So I don't know what else to say. Honestly, this was a great episode. First of all, it really alleviated my concerns about being stuck in the Rabituza immediately. We were already introduced to at least one more party member, which kind of alleviated my concerns that the entire show is just going to be Sanaraku, and that might get kind of stale eventually. We now have Emul, who's gonna be our at least temporary party member. Should Emul stop being a party member, we get more party members incoming. I mean, it lays out very good groundwork. It lays out very good foundations, and it really builds on those foundations in equally as good way. There really isn't anything that I would actually be able to criticize in good conscience. It's kind of crazy just how flawless of a show it is so far. Like, I don't want to set any flags here, and I don't want the situation to be like with Zom 100 when I think it's on like indefinite break because they run out of their slot, so now they don't have any slot on the TV to air new episodes in. I really don't want it to be a situation like that, so, you know, I don't want to set up any flags. But so far it's been flawless, and I really hope it continues that way, and I have a sneaking suspicion it actually will. I really think it actually will continue to be this flawless. I mean, shit, I think that's it. I don't think I have anything more to add on the topic. It's great. I enjoyed myself thoroughly. It's amazing. I need more. I want more. Thank fuck it's 25 episodes, because I would be immensely sad if it ended at just 12. But you guys, you tell me now, down in the comments below, what did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? No spoilers, please, I beg of you. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description below. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Shangri-La Frontier but also Magia Record, Helk, Zom 100 whenever that comes out, Shy, Shield Hero, Season 2, what else is there? Frieren, of course, Undead Girl Murder Farce, I need to continue that. The Sai Hatano Paladin Season 2, and plenty of other shows coming at you in the future. I also stream sometimes, so click the bell to be notified of when I go live. Support the channel to be notified of support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Magia Record, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me on YouTube itself directly via memberships, super thanks, stuff like that, also down below. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, share my content, spread the word. It costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Bruce Survivor, Zay Rainer, Shoshi Akama, Sir Fassel, David, Dr. Watt, Marshuki Lion, Hans Peter, and you can join them without having to have your XP cut by half.